Good evening to all. My name is Fred Macedo. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here with my friends Rosangela, Rosalie, and Ruben, and we are here for one more episode of Gospel at Home. Now we're going to discuss a random theme of the Gospel according to Spiritism, and I ask you, Rosangela, to do our prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you, Rosangela. Now we're gonna pick a theme of the gospel according to Spiritism. The man of the world, the happy man, who because of an offensive word or a slight matter throws away the life that has come to him from God, or who throws away the life of his fellow man, a life that belongs to God alone, is 100 times guiltier than the wretch who, compelled by greed or sometimes by necessity, goes into someone's home to steal what he covets and kills those who stand in his way. He's referring to the duel. The latter is almost always an educated man with only imperfect notions of good and evil, whereas the dueler almost always belongs to the more educated class. One kills brutally, the other with methods and politeness, which makes society excuse him. I would even add that the dweller is infinitely guiltier than the wretch who yields to a sentiment of revenge and kills in a moment of exasperation. The dweller cannot use a fit of passion as an excuse, because between the offense and the reparation there is always time to reflect. Hence, he acts coldly and with premeditation. Everything is calculated and studied in order to more surely slay his adversary. It's true that he also endangers his own life, and this is what justifies the duel in the eyes of the world, because it's seen as an act of courage and a disdain for one's own life. However, is there true courage when one is sure of himself? The duel, a remnant of barbaric times in which might makes right, was the law, will disappear with a saner appreciation of the true point of honor, and to the degree that people put a more ardent faith in the future life. Augustine. Remark: duels are becoming rarer and rarer, and if tragic examples of them are still seen from time to time, their number cannot be compared to what it used to be. Formerly, a man could not leave his home without foreseeing an encounter, thus always taking precautions. A characteristic sign of the customs of those times and people was the habit of carrying a concealed or unconcealed offensive or defensive weapon. The abolition of such usage demonstrates that softening of customs, and it is interesting to follow this graduation from the time in which knights did not ride out except covered in armor and clutching a lance, to when men start carrying a simple sword more as a decoration and a blazon than a weapon of aggression. Another indication regarding customs is that formerly one-on-one combat took place right in the street in front of the crowd that stayed back in order to leave the area free, whereas nowadays all is done in secret. Nowadays, the death of a man is an event that causes commotion and is talked about. In the past, no one paid any attention to it. Spiritism will remove these last vestiges of barbarity, instilling humankind with the spirit of charity and fraternity. So, regarding the duel, when Kardec coded, right, the Gospel according to Spiritism, the duel was not very well accepted then. And now, in our days, it's a crime. And we don't see it face to face. Commonly, we see duels in social media when people start to saying things about one another. But the encounters of the past occurs now. We see we see happenings, cases of people that start aggressions in the traffic, and some will try to kill one another. This is a vestige of the duels of the past. And we must say that all the anger, all that hatred are probably encounters from enemies of the past that now they don't have swords, but they have cars, use it as guns. They have guns. So from time to time we see tragedies happens as a remnant of the past. The Spiritism, foreseeing that we are in a time that our planet is moving from trials and expiations to a road in regeneration. So things will be better from like 3 or 4 decades from now. But what we see now, it's is the rays of the anger, the rays of aggressions, wars, and everything else that is occurring. And these facts alone tend to impress us in a bad manner, bad way, because we tend to see that our world is is going to an end. Our world is decaying, but the truth is that all the bad spirits that were incarcerated uh, in the hells, that I don't know what we can say umbral in English, but it's like a kind of hell, a temporary hell. All these spirits, they were granted one last opportunity to be reborn in earth. That's why we see the music is terrible. Uh, the costumes, the morality has 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 gone very very low, because um, those spirits are here. Those ignorant spirits are here, but they are here for a brief moment. That is their last opportunity to change. If they don't change, when they die, when they disincarnate, they will go to a more suitable planet for them, probably a primitive planet that they will be born and reborn over and over thousands of times, aiding that planet to reach a more graduate state. I would like to ask all of you to make a prayer for all those that suffer, the disincarnated ones that have chosen suicide, that are in a lot of suffering, and all those that are still living like us, but are succumbing in the claws of suicide. Let's ask Jesus to embrace them, to help them um, get get better. And this is for me now. That's all for us now. I will ask Rosangela to make our final prayer. Thank you. I think my tongue is a little. It's not very good today. Thank you a lot.
We thank the good spirits who have come to communicate with us and ask them to help us put into practice the instruction they have given us. We also hope they will ensure that it unfolds at the end of the session is fortified in the practice of good and love for our neighbor. We also wish these lessons may be useful for the suffering, ignorance, or visions spiritus were able to attend this meeting and for whom we implore the mercy of God. God bless you all.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, everyone.
Good evening.